Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake from TodaysiPhone.com, and here are this week's biggest stories. Okay, so let's start off with a little news about FaceTime. Now, when iOS 6 was announced, one of the big features that Apple talked about was FaceTime over 3G. Now, we've been waiting for this feature since FaceTime was announced with the iPhone 4 a couple of years ago, but up until now, we've really only been allowed to use FaceTime over Wi-Fi unless you have a jailbreak or something. But now, finally, Apple and carriers are allowing FaceTime over 3G, but it's not all good. According to some leaked screenshots, AT&T will be charging a premium fee for users connected to their service that want to use FaceTime over the network. It's not very surprising, but it is definitely a bummer. On the other hand, Sprint has said that they will not be charging users extra to use FaceTime, and that it can come right out of their allotted data, which, if you don't know, could be unlimited because Sprint is the only carrier in the US that offers the iPhone with an unlimited plan. So that's good news, but honestly, FaceTime over 3G is probably going to be pretty spotty anyway. Whatever carrier you're on, it's bound to not be as fast or as smooth as it is on Wi-Fi, and especially if Sprint is, just kind of allowing users to do it without charging extra. Even though that's nice of them, it could lead to even worse data speeds and FaceTime experiences and all that stuff. So it's sort of a mixed bag. Do any of you out there actually use FaceTime enough to have this be like a big factor in your iPhone experience? Will you switch carriers from AT&T to Sprint to be able to use FaceTime over the 3G service and not have to pay for it? Okay, moving on. During Verizon's earnings call this week, Finance Chief Fran Shamo had some interesting words to say about a possible iPhone release date. Now, the wording is a little tricky, but talking about iPhone sales and smartphone sales in general and stuff, Shamo mentioned a release date for the next generation iPhone in the fourth quarter of this year. And he said that could be a reason why people are holding off getting smartphones now because they want to wait for the new iPhone, which is definitely a possibility. But the fact that this is coming from such a high-up person in Verizon and that it correlates all these other rumors about a September, October release date for the next iPhone is definitely intriguing, and I think it's pretty safe to say that we will see the next iPhone sometime this fall in September or October. Okay, so changing from new devices, let's talk about some old ones. More specifically, old iPad prototypes. Because a bunch of photos of one of the earliest iPad prototypes from somewhere around 2002 to 2004 was leaked onto the web, and it's definitely worth a look just to see how far Apple came in the development of the tablet before we even saw one. There's no home button, there's no camera, the device is super thick, it's made out of the white plastic that the MacBooks were made out of for a very long time, and I have to say I am incredibly pleased that Apple did a little bit more work on it before actually releasing the iPad. Now, the pictures are definitely worth taking a look at just for entertainment purposes, but this is interesting for another very important reason. This was a working iPad prototype in 2002 or 2004, which is 8 to 6 years before we actually saw the first iPad. So that makes me wonder what awesome prototype products Apple's testing right now that we'll see 8-10 years down the line. To have that information and be inside Apple and know what people are going to be buying their future children for Christmas 10 years from now is definitely cool. Okay, and finally, if you're a registered developer with Apple, you'll know that iOS 6 Beta 3 went live, and we have a list of the major changes. Most notably, of course, is it's way, way faster. Beta 1 and Beta 2 were really slow and buggy and laggy and kind of unusable at times, but Beta 3 fixes all of those issues, and it really feels like it's supposed to. It feels good, it feels fast, things move, you can switch apps, and yeah, you get the picture. It's awesome. There's a tab in the settings application to adjust some things in the maps application, like kilometers versus miles and that sort of thing, so that's handy. And there's also a new shortcut to get to drafts in Mail. The iPhone 3GS got access to shared photo streams as well as VIP mailboxes. There's now a Siri button in Assistive Touch, which is super useful if your home button is broken. And Apple has finally started to make the switch from @me.com email addresses to @icloud.com email addresses. Okay, well, that's all the big news for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with a question of the day, and that is, what prototypes do you think are at Apple right now? What products will we see from Apple 8-10 years down the line? Use your imaginations and let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at @TIP_Jake. Please don't forget that the links to everything I talked about in this video are in the description down below, so go check those out. And as always, For more news, views, and reviews, don't forget to check out todaysiphone.com.